I'm happy to be here with all of you. I've really missed teaching yoga, so this is a little bit different. Hopefully it's like riding a bike because it's been a while. So we will begin in a child's pose. You can make your way onto your mat, guiding your knees to the outer edge and big toes to touch. And then walking your hands towards the top of the mat. Maybe you let your forehead rest, or you could even stack your fists and place your head on top of your fists. Taking this time to feel heaviness through the hips and really settling into the mat. This might be extra helpful to tune out any outside distractions if you have kiddos running around or cats or dogs. Maybe you feel their whiskers on you now, sniffing, trying to figure out what's going on. But this is a time for you to tap in and take some time for yourself, tuning in with your breath. It might be helpful to seal your lips and take a deep breath in through the nose. Pause at the top for a moment. Keep holding one more second. And then exhale through the mouth. Pause at the bottom. Sealing lips once again. Take a deep breath in, filling up your belly, your rib cage, your heart space, and pause at the top here. And exhale once again through the mouth. Really compressing out any stale air, imagining you're letting go of anything that you do not need for the next 60 minutes or so. You can take as many rounds of breath in this manner as you like this morning. It's a nice way to clear the slate, as I mentioned before, letting go of anything you don't need. And then when you are ready, you may begin to seal your lips completely and start to breathe in and out through the nose. This can be a gradual shift over to your Ujjayi pranayama. Breathing in and out through the nose. Might sound like the wind through the trees, Darth Vader breathing. I always like to think of this breath as my metronome to keep a steady beat throughout the practice. When your mind might begin to wander to worries or what you have to do, maybe wondering what your kids are doing because it seems a little too quiet, let that go, they'll be fine. Come back to your breath. We'll take a few more rounds here in stillness. After you have completed your next exhale, slowly begin to make your way up to a tabletop pose. You can take your time getting there, bringing your hands to stack under your shoulders. Knees will be hip-width distance apart. Maybe rotating the eyes of your elbows towards the front of the room a bit. And then inhale, I'm not sure how to stand here. Inhale will be cow pose. Belly hangs heavy, your tailbone can reach back. Maybe lift your gaze slightly. And as you exhale, cat pose, pushing the mat away, thinking of like an angry Halloween cat, letting your head drop. Inhale is cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. And exhale. Take a few more cycles through these two poses on your own. And feel free to close your eyes, begin to move a bit more organically. You might notice that there's Some areas you want to breathe some space into. Maybe you shift your hips from side to side, look over one shoulder and then the other. Letting your body move intuitively. It knows what to do. Sometimes you just have to stop and listen to it. And take one more round of each. Kneeling back in your neutral tabletop pose. Then from here, keeping your left hand planted, we'll thread the needle. Inhale as right arm reaches up. Gaze up at your fingertips for a moment. As you exhale, thread right arm underneath the left. You can let your right temple rest on the mat here. Your left hand can stay pressed in towards your shoulder, or you might walk it towards the top of your mat, or even wind it to your low back. Maybe holding a lot of tension in our shoulders lately. Maybe you've been doing a lot more sitting, looking over your computer. Sometimes we don't realize how much we're hunched over, and this can be a little relief, creating a little bit of space through the shoulders. If your left hand is not already there, begin to guide it back towards your shoulder. Press through that left palm. Inhale as right arm reaches up one more time. Exhale, set it back down. Moving right onto the opposite side, right hand stays planted. Inhale as the left arm reaches up. And exhale, thread left arm underneath your torso to the right side of mat. Left temple can rest. Taking your variation with your right arm. Guiding right hand back towards shoulder if it's not already there. Press through palm. Inhale as left arm reaches up one last time. And exhale, set it back down. From here, begin to extend your right leg out behind you. And then place the ball mound of your right foot on the mat. Begin to shift your weight forward and backward through your hands, getting in a little calf stretch. Maybe some pops and cracks out of toes. And then right leg will begin to float. Maybe you look over your right shoulder, keeping your leg aligned with your torso. It doesn't need to go any higher than your hips. When you're ready, left arm will extend forward. Keep your neck nice and long here. And then warming up our core on your exhale, draw knee to elbow, curving through the spine. Inhale, find length. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen out. Once more, exhale, knee to elbow. Hold here for a round of breath. Inhale, lengthen out. Once more, hold here for a beat. Exhale, hand and knee, return to the mat. You might wag your tail a bit here, move through a cycle of cat and cow, rinse that all out. And coming back to your tabletop pose, then extend your left leg out behind you, ball mound of left foot is on the mat. You can take your calf stretch on the side, shifting weight forward and backward through the palms. And left leg will begin to float, once again, keeping your heel aligned with your hip. And as you're ready, right arm extends forward to the front of the room. Palm can face in, thumb is up. Breathe in here. And as you exhale, knee to elbow, crossing the midline. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Stay curled in here for one round of breath. Maybe you lift that knee slightly higher up. Inhale, lengthen out one last time. Exhale, hand and knee, return to the mat. Take whatever you need to let that all go. Wagging of the tail, or one more round of cat and cow. Begin to tuck your toes under, hover your knees above the mat. Preparing for downward facing dog, but we'll start to build up some heat here. Imagine you are in a bear crawl stance. Your knees are about 2 inches off the mat, pushing the mat away with your palms, nice flat back. Stay for one more round of breath. On your next exhale, hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Move through whatever little rituals you have in your first down dog of the practice. Pedaling out your heels, rising up onto tiptoes. If you bend your knees and then lengthen back out again. Noticing how you feel in this first down dog. Sending energy perhaps towards your hamstrings. Checking in with your hands. Fingers are spread like starfish. Head and neck hanging heavy. Perhaps you close your eyes here and tune back in with your breath if it got lost in translation. And take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out. Inhale through the nose once again. And as you exhale, take little steps up towards the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Bend into your knees as much as you need here. Can come into ragdoll pose, reaching for opposite elbows or biceps, head and neck hang heavy. Maybe you sway a bit. Releasing your hands down towards the mat, heel toe your feet back together. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Crown of head extending towards the front of your room. Exhale, forward fold. Once more like that. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. On a long, slow inhale, take your time to rise up to mountain pose. Eventually, arms will reach up overhead. And as you exhale, draw your hands to heart center, standing at attention pose or Samastitihi. Maybe you shift your weight into the ball mounds of your feet and then back in towards your heels so you can find that sweet spot where you feel nice and rooted down. All four corners of each foot making contact with the mat. You can close your eyes here. Perhaps you have an intention you would like to set for your practice, or maybe just take these moments here in stillness to check in with your breath. One more inhale. As you exhale, release your hands down towards your sides. Palms can face forward. Inhale, arms reach up, mountain pose. As you exhale, you can swan dive down or draw hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back to plank pose. And in plank pose, you can always bring your knees to the earth. I really find it helpful to imagine pushing the mat away. It makes you feel a little bit lighter rather than you're sinking into the mat. Puffing up that space between your shoulder blades. And then squeeze your elbows in towards your rib cage. Imagine there is a rubber band around your elbows, hugging them in. Slowly lower all the way down to your bellies. Nice control, Allison. I can see you. Thank you. Coming all the way down, untuck your toes. Tops of feet are pressing into the mat. And we'll set up for 3 baby cobras. Once again, still keeping your elbows hugged in. On your next inhale, just lift your chin and chest, taking an easy baby cobra. Exhale, chin returns to mat. Inhale to lift, baby cobra. Exhale, chin releases back down. Final one, inhale here. We'll stay for a round of breath, maybe even float your hands above the surface of the mat. Exhale, chin releases back down. You can tuck your toes under, engage through the quads, feel your kneecaps lift, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, push yourself up, high plank pose. Breathe in here at the top. And exhale, hips go up and back. There you are, back in downward facing dog. So we'll start to flow through our sun salutations. We'll take one round slowly, and then we'll start to move, connecting one breath with one movement. Inhale here. Bend into your knees. As you exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise, mountain pose. Riding the breath down, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to plant your hands, step your feet back to plank pose. Once again, option to bring your knees to the earth here. You can lower all the way down to your bellies or halfway down chaturanga, squeezing elbows in. Inhale is your back bend of choice, perhaps another cobra, or if you're ready, upward facing dog. And then make your way back, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or hop, top of mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, planting hands, step it back, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale brings you to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One breath in here. As you exhale, make your way to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, ride breath down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Check in with your breath here. If you need to come into a child's pose, get water. You probably don't have to towel off because you're not as hot as you would normally be. We'll move on in 2 more cycles of breath. Breath in here. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, mountain pose. Then as you exhale, make your way into chair pose. From here, your feet can be together or hip-width distance apart. Engaging through the inner thighs. Imagine there's a magnet there. You can bring your hands to heart center. And take your variation. Going as deep as you need here. We will be coming back to this pose, so that might influence how deep you go. And just take it easy, not forcing anything this first round through. Letting your breath guide you, focusing the mind. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, and from here, just step your left foot back. Keeping your left hand planted, you can bring your left knee to the earth if you like. Inhale as right arm reaches up, finding a little bit of twist and openness through the shoulders, trying to stack your shoulders here. If you gaze up at your fingertips, And as you exhale, release your right hand down to the mat. From here, take a few test pumps off that left foot. We're going to take a big step forward. Your left foot will come to meet your right, forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. Here we go, round 2. Exhale, chair pose. 2 more cycles of breath in your chair. Last inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, this time stepping right foot back. This is where I run into everything in my apartment. Keeping your right hand planted. Inhale as the left arm reaches up. Really pressing the mat away with that right hand. Option to draw right knee to the earth as well. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Few test pumps off that right foot. On your exhale, take a big step forward. Right foot meets your left. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose. Oh boy. One more breath here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. You can float the vinyasa or feel free to skip it. I don't hear any moans and groans with all the chair poses, which is one nice thing about you guys being on mute. Breath in here in your downward facing dog. Exhale, side out. On your next inhale, right leg rises up behind you. Really flexing through that right foot. As you exhale, draw your knee to your chest. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, knee to chest. Pull it up a little bit closer than you think you can. And then step your right foot through between your hands. We're setting up for a crescent lunge. So building a strong foundation, maybe widening out your stance a little bit. When you are ready, inhale to rise, crescent lunge. Your back heel is lifted, but you guys can't even see my back heel, so just trust me. You're on the ball mound of the left foot. Right knee is stacked over right ankle. Chest is squared towards the front of the room. Breathe in here, finding length. As you exhale, airplane your arms towards the back. Torso will hover above your thigh. And then really reaching back through the fingertips. Feel your shoulders pull away from your ears. Inhale brings you back up, crescent lunge. As you exhale, open up, warrior 2 pose. So back foot will spin parallel to the back of your mat. You might take a few moments to settle in here. Bending and straightening through the right leg. Maybe widen out your stance a bit. And then sealing the knife edge side of your left foot. When you're ready, shifting gaze over right fingertips. One more breath here. On your next inhale, flip that right palm and then reverse warrior. Right hand will reach up towards the back of the room. Left hand can slide down your left thigh or wind to your low back. Can gaze down at your left foot or up towards your fingertips. Whatever feels best for your breathing. And then exhale, we'll release hands down, framing your right foot. Step your right foot back, high plank, and then flow through your vinyasa. You can always skip them and meet in downward facing dog. Moving on to the opposite side, inhale, left leg rises. As you exhale, draw left knee to chest. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee to chest, pull it in slightly higher, and then step that left foot through. Setting up for crescent lunge, once again, widening out your stance on your mat for more stability. As you're ready, arms reach up, crescent lunge, beautiful. Find energy through fingertips, maybe even shift your gaze up slightly. Breathe in. And as you exhale, airplane your arms as torso shifts forward. Once again, thinking about pulling shoulders away from your ears, and palms can be up or down here. Inhale brings you back up, crescent lunge. And then exhale to open warrior two pose. Back foot spinning parallel. Once again, take your time to settle in on this side. Knowing things might feel different here. Take what you need. Once again, listening to your body and how it feels. The nice thing about doing Zoom yoga is you can't see anybody else, so you're really just listening to your body. You don't have to worry about what you look like, how your warrior two compares to anybody else's. This is just your own practice to focus on. One more breath here. Then on your inhale, reverse warrior. Right hand to right thigh or bringing it to your low back. As you exhale, hands will release down to frame your left foot. Step back, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in through the nose and open mouth side out. One more breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, right leg rises once again. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, steps right foot through. Inhale, crescent lunge. As you exhale, airplane arms. Nice work. Inhale to rise, crescent lunge. Exhale, open warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands to mat, high to low plank. Moving with your breath. One breath per movement. Meeting back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, steps it through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale to rise, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two pose. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll move through that one more time, adding on a bit. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, steps it through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane arms. So staying here in this airplane, there we go. Bring the weight into your right foot. We're getting ready to launch off. The left foot will lift. As you're ready, exhale, launch into airplane pose. Fingertips reaching towards the back of the room. Take one more breath here. And as you exhale, step it back to crescent lunge. Exhale, open warrior two pose. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. And then from here, on your inhale, begin to reach your arms up towards the ceiling, straighten through the right leg. And then shift your right foot so all your toes are facing the left side of your mat. Bring your hands to touch, or bring your hands to your right center and turn your heels in, coming into goddess pose. From here, engaging through the inner thighs. Imagine your knees, well, don't imagine, actually do it. Track your knees over your toes here. Great time to tap into your breath. You can find stillness here or add a little swaying motion. Maybe you add a few little pulses. We're here for 2 more cycles of breath. Next, inhale, arms reach up, straighten through your legs, make yourself big, 5-pointed star. And then as you exhale, come back to your warrior two. Right foot or right toes face the front, back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Breathe in here. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down towards the mat. Bring your left knee to the mat. Hands come to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot to the outer edge. Runner's lunge here. You can stay on top. Or perhaps take your right hand and guide your right knee out a bit, rolling onto the knife edge side of right foot. Feel lengthening through the left hip flexor. I've been doing a lot more sitting lately, so this has been very helpful in my low back and my hips to lengthen that out. Need to invest in a standing desk. Take a few more cycles of breath here. If you are on your forearms, take your time to rise back to tall arms. And then heel toe your right foot back to the center of the mat. Hands are framing it. From here, planting hands, tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee. We're going to make a big move here. Standing splits are next. So weight is in your right foot. As you're ready to launch off, left leg lifts. We'll just call this standing 90-degree angle. One more breath. Bend into your left leg. Imagine you're stepping over a big boulder and place it next to your right, forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rises you up, mountain pose. Exhale, chair pose. Here we go again. Breathe in. Bring your hands to heart center. Shift your torso forward. Breathe in here. And then as you exhale, twisting towards the right, left elbow tracks towards your right thigh. Go this way so you guys actually see. You can keep your hands pressing together, or perhaps you open them up. One more breath here. Hands come back to center if they're not already there, and forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. There you are in high plank. You can skip your vinyasa and go to down dog, or if you're really craving it, float on through. Breath in through the nose and sigh out. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, steps left foot through. Inhale to rise, crescent lunge. As you exhale, airplane your arms. Getting ready to launch off here, take a breath in, and then as you're ready, right leg launches off, airplane pose. One more breath. Exhale, steps your right foot back. Inhale your crescent lunge, and then exhale to open warrior two pose. Inhale, lay it back, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Then on your next inhale, left leg straightens, arms reach up overhead. Shift your left foot so all your toes are facing the right side of the mat. And we'll take Prasarita next. Your hands can come to your hips, or you can bring them to your low back. Inhale at the top. And then exhale, hinge it forward. Imagine you're folding over a bar here. Maybe your hands are floating off of the low back. Head and neck hang heavy. Taking a moment to really relish in this nice calming pose where your head is below your heart. Feel free to close your eyes. Final breath here. Releasing your hands back underneath your head if they're not already there. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then bring your hands to your hips. Take your time rising back up, being careful not to get a head rush. And then make your way back, warrior two pose. Begin to cartwheel your hands down, framing your left foot. Runner's lunge on this side, so you can bring your right knee to the mat, left foot, heel toes to the outer edge, hands on the inside of left foot. And knowing things, as always, might feel different on this side, so you can adjust as you need. Thinking about making some space here. We'll stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. Gradually making your way back up to tall arms. Left foot, heel toes back to the center of the mat. Getting ready for our big move. You're going to tuck right toes under, lift your right knee. And as you're ready, launch off into standing splits. Right leg is lifted. Embracing any wobbles here. And then bend into the right leg, step over that big imaginary boulder, right foot meets your left at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise, mountain pose. Last time I promise, exhale, chair pose. Bring your hands to heart center, torso will shift forward, we're preparing to twist. As you exhale, twisting towards the left, right elbow tracking towards the left thigh. Option to open up your arms. We'll stay here for about 1.5 more rounds of breath. Bringing your hands back to center as you shift torso back over your thighs and then forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And widen out your feet to the outer edges of your mat. From here, you can start to bend into your knees and come into a sumo squat here, bringing your hands heart center. If your hips are feeling okay, you can let them sink down a bit more, coming into yogi, squat, or malasana. Maybe you wedge your elbows on the inside of your knees, tracking them out a bit. Knowing it's okay if your heels are lifting slightly up off of the mat. Releasing your hands down to the mat, slowly straighten through the legs, hips rise. Maybe you give a little shake out here. And heel toe your feet back together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. As you exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Grounding down through the right foot, begin to rise up to one-legged mountain pose. Left knee is lifted, you can flex through the left foot. Once again, rising up out of that right hip, imagine you're pushing the mat away with your right foot. We'll come into standing figure four, so left ankle will cross on top of right thigh, and you can stay here, or begin to bend into that right knee. Then a little outer hip stretch here. Hands can stay at heart center, or maybe you can bend deeply, bringing your hands down towards the carpet or mat. Not forcing anything here. Once again, listening to your body. Not worrying about what anybody else is doing because you're the only one in there. Your dog will not be judging you. And slowly rise back up through that right leg, straightening. Uncross your left ankle, coming back to one-legged mountain pose for a moment. And exhale, set your left foot down to meet your right. Inhale, arms sweep up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Begin to ground down through the left foot, right leg lifts, one-legged mountain. Finding steadiness here. When you are ready, right ankle crosses over left thigh. If it's available to you, find a little bend in the left knee, taking what you need on this side. Final breath here. Inhale as you begin to slowly straighten through the left leg. Uncross your right ankle, one-legged mountain pose just for a moment. And exhale, release your right foot down to meet your left. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, ride the breath down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back to high plank pose. Hold in your high plank for a moment. You can always bring your knees to the mat. Puffing up that space between your shoulder blades, gazing down in between your thumbs here. Knowing you have all the strength you need within you. One more breath. And as you exhale, hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Exhale, side out. Inhale, hinge it forward, high plank pose. You have got this. As you exhale, come down to your right forearm and then to your left forearm, forearm plank. You can have your hands flat on the mat, or maybe you bring your hands in a prayer position in front, intertwining fingers. Final breath. Okay, big push here, back up to tall arms, right hand, then left hand, and then downward facing dog. Way to go. Breath in here. Exhale, hinge it forward, high plank, and then lower all the way down to your bellies, as fast or slow as you would like. I'm imagining a big open mouth sigh here. Take a moment to let your body rest and do absolutely nothing. Arms can be long at your sides, palms up, whatever cheek you would like to rest on the mat. You can lift your head gently and turn to let the opposite cheek rest. Moving into a few spine strengtheners here, guiding your chin to the mat. First will be cobra pose, so you can bring your hands to come underneath your shoulders. Once again, thinking about what we did at the beginning, squeezing your elbows in towards your rib cage. You can press the tops of your feet into the mat. Stay for an exhale. And then on your next inhale, rising up, cobra pose, lifting your chin and chest. You can keep your hands connected to the mat or hover them just above the surface. Letting your breath guide you here. Final inhale. Exhale, release your chin, chest to the mat. Whichever cheek would like to rest, and arms are along your sides. Once again, letting everything release. Feel heavy on the mat. On your next breath, chin comes back to mat. Locust pose will be our second one, bringing arms along your sides, flipping palms over. And your feet, your legs rather, can be zipped up or about hip width distance apart. Then on your inhale, chin and chest lift. Hands and arms will begin to float, and perhaps your shins and feet as well, if that's available. Feel energy through the fingertips, engaging all the muscles on your backside body here. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release everything down. Opposite cheek can rest. It may feel good to bend into your legs and windshield wiper your feet from side to side, releasing the low back. Next pose will be yogi's choice. So you may take another cobra or locust. If bow is in your practice and you're craving that, you're welcome to go there, bending into your legs, reaching back for the outsides of your ankles or tops of feet. Maybe you take a sphinx pose, or maybe you just lie on your mat. Wherever you are, holding for 2 more cycles of breath. And on your next exhale, releasing all the way back down if you're not already there. In your own time, making your way back to a child's pose. Knees to the outer edge of the mat, big toes coming to touch. Or perhaps rabbit pose with knees together, forehead resting as your arms reach back towards your heels. Starting to slow down the breathing as we transition to surrender series, calming the body, slowing things down. Notice how this child's pose feels as compared to the beginning of the practice. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. When you are ready, you can guide yourself back up. And then however you'd like to get there, coming all the way onto your backs. I can no longer see most of you, so however you want to get all the way down to your back on your mat. You can draw your knees in towards your chest, wrap your arms around your shins. Give a little rock from side to side, massaging the low back. And when you're ready, keeping your right knee drawn in, left leg can extend out long on the mat. Arms wrap around your, or hands rather, wrap around your right shin. And taking your right hand to guide right knee up and out towards your right armpit. On your exhale, right knee can come across the torso. Use your left hand to draw right knee over towards the left side of the mat. It might be helpful to bring your right arm out like an anchor, keeping your shoulder blades connected to the mat. Inhale will bring you back through center. Left knee will draw in to meet the right. Arms come to wrap around left shin as right leg extends out long. You can guide your left knee up and out towards your left armpit this time. As you're ready, left knee draws across the torso. You can use your right hand to help it. Left arm might come out like an anchor here. Inhale, coming back through center. Both knees draw in, coming into happy baby pose. Reach for the outsides of your feet or behind your thighs. Let this pose be yours. You can add a little rocking motion or bend and straighten into each leg as you need. Knees will draw back in together, unwrapping arms, letting your feet come down to the mat. Soles of feet will come to touch, moving into supine butterfly pose, opening your knees up to the left and right. You can bring your hands wherever they feel most comfortable. Perhaps one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Feeling a little sense of groundedness here, noticing your heartbeat. And as you're ready, using hands to guide knees back together. And coming into one final twist, knees draw in, arms release out like wings. And then as you're ready on your exhale, let your knees drift over to the right side of the mat, supine twist. You can keep your legs stacked on top of one another or perhaps wind your left leg over your right for twisted root. You can keep your gaze up or over towards left fingertips. Final twist on this side, perhaps thinking of anything else that you might need to let go of. Letting your mind be clear. If it's wandering as we move into these cool down poses, bring it back to your breath. You're welcome to linger on this side as long as you need. When you feel ready, bringing knees back through the center. And exhaling as they drift over to the left side, taking your variation here. Final twist of the practice. Feeling free to stay on this side as long as you like. When you feel complete, knees will draw back through center. Checking in with yourself, noticing if there are any last wiggles or poses you need to complete your practice. And you can really do whatever you like here, no judgment. As you're ready, you can make yourself into a tight little ball for a moment, drawing knees in towards your chest, wrap arms around shins, forehead up towards your knees as you breathe in and tense everything up just for a moment. And take a nice big exhale through the mouth as you expand, releasing your body onto the mat. You can take whatever shape feels best here. Having the support of the mat, the earth underneath you, letting it embrace you as you come to heaviness and stillness. Finding comfort here, knowing all the hard work is done and all that's left for you to do is rest. Once again, if your mind is wandering, if the cat is tickling your toes, if you hear your kids, on your inhale, think, I am. On your exhale, think, at rest. Slowly begin to bring awareness back to your body, inviting small movements to fingers and toes, rolling out your wrists and ankles, perhaps reaching your arms to the back of the room, taking a nice full body stretch. As you're ready, drawing your knees in and guiding yourself onto whatever side would feel best, coming into a gentle fetal position. Let your head rest on your arm here for a moment. Sending yourself gratitude for taking this time for you. And gratitude to your body for all it has done for you. Gratitude to the other yogis who shared their energy with you, even if it is through the virtual realm. When you're ready, gently pressing yourself up to a seated position, taking your time. Bringing your arms along your sides, palms can face up. Take one more virtual breath together here. letting everything go with an exhale. And on your inhale, arms can reach up overhead. Bring your palms to touch and draw them to your heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. All the light and love within me reflects and honors the light and love within you. I could feel you all through my computer screen. Thank you once again. From my heart to yours, namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Erika.
Awesome.
Namaste. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.